Exodus 35. Moses called together the people of Israel and told them that the Lord had said,
"You have 6 days in which to do your work, but the 7th day must be dedicated to me, your Lord, as a day of rest. Whoever works on the Sabbath will be put to death. Don't even build a cooking fire at home on the Sabbath."
Moses told the people of Israel that the Lord had said,
"I would welcome an offering from anyone who wants to give something. You may bring gold, silver, or bronze, blue, purple, or red wool, fine linen, goat hair, tanned ram skin or fine leather, acacia wood, olive oil for the lamp, sweet-smelling spices for the oil of dedication and for the incense, or onyx stones or other gems for the sacred vest and breastpiece. If you have any skills, you should use them to help make what I have commanded: the sacred tent with its covering and hooks, its framework and crossbars, and its posts and stands, the sacred chest with its carrying poles, its place of mercy, and the curtain in front of it, the table with all that goes on it, including the sacred bread, the lamp with its equipment and oil, the incense altar with its carrying poles and sweet-smelling incense, the ordination oil, the curtain for the entrance to the sacred tent, the altar for sacrifices with its bronze grating, its carrying poles, and its equipment, the large bronze bowl with its stand, the curtains with the posts and stands that go around the courtyard, the pegs and ropes for the tent and the courtyard, and the finely woven priestly clothes for Aaron and his sons."
Moses finished speaking, and everyone left. Then those who wanted to bring gifts to the Lord brought them to be used for the sacred tent, the worship services, and the priestly clothes. Men and women came willingly and gave all kinds of gold jewelry, such as pins, earrings, rings, and necklaces. Everyone brought their blue, purple, and red wool, their fine linen, and their cloth made of goat hair, as well as their ram skins dyed red, and their fine leather. Anyone who had silver or bronze or acacia wood brought it as a gift to the Lord. The women who were good at weaving cloth brought the blue, purple, and red wool and the fine linen they had made. And the women who knew how to make cloth from goat hair were glad to do so. The leaders brought different kinds of jewels to be sewn on the special clothes and the breastpiece for the high priest. They also brought sweet-smelling spices to be mixed with the incense and olive oil that were for the lamps and for ordaining the priests. Moses had told the people what the Lord wanted them to do, and many of them decided to bring their gifts. Moses said to the people of Israel,
"The Lord has chosen Bezalel of the Judah tribe. Not only has the Lord filled him with a spirit, but he has given him wisdom and made him a skilled craftsman who can create objects of art with gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood. The Lord is urging him and Oholiab from the tribe of Dan to teach others. And he has given them all kinds of artistic skills, including the ability to design and embroider with blue, purple, and red wool, and to weave fine linen."
Exodus 36. The Lord has given to Bezalel, Oholiab, and others the skills needed for building a place of worship, and they will follow the Lord's instructions. Then Moses brought together these workers who were eager to work, and he gave them the money that the people of Israel had donated for building the place of worship. In fact, so much money was being given each morning that finally everyone stopped working and said,
"Moses, there's already more money than we need for what the Lord has assigned us to do."
So Moses sent word for the people to stop giving, and they did. But there was already more than enough to do what needed to be done. The skilled workers got together to make the sacred tent and its linen curtains woven with blue, purple, and red wool and embroidered with figures of winged creatures. Each of the 10 panels was 14 yards long and 2 yards wide, and they were sewn together to make 2 curtains with 5 panels each. Then 50 loops of blue cloth were put along one of the wider sides of each curtain, and the 2 curtains were fastened together at the loops with 50 gold hooks. As the material for the tent, Goat hair was used to weave 11 sections, 15 yards by 2 yards each. These 11 sections were joined to make 2 panels, one with 5 and the other with 6 sections. 50 loops were put along one of the wider sides of each panel, and the 2 panels were fastened at the loops with 50 bronze hooks. 2 other coverings were made, one with fine leather and the other with ram skins dyed red. Acacia wood was used to build the framework for the walls of the sacred tent. Each frame was 15 feet high and 27 inches wide, with 2 wooden pegs near the bottom. Then 2 silver stands were placed under each frame with sockets for the pegs so they could be joined together. 20 of these frames were used along the south side and 20 more along the north. 6 frames were used for the back wall along the west side, with 2 more at the southwest and northwest corners. These corner frames were joined from top to bottom. Altogether, along the back wall, there were 8 frames with 2 silver stands under each of them. 5 crossbars were made for each of the wooden frames, with the center crossbar running the full length of the wall. The frames and crossbars were covered with gold, and gold rings were attached to the frames to run the crossbars through. They made the inside curtain of fine linen woven with blue, purple, and red wool, and embroidered with figures of winged creatures. They also made 4 acacia wood posts and covered them with gold. Then gold rings were fastened to the posts, which were set on silver stands. For the entrance to the tent, they used a curtain of fine linen woven with blue, purple, and red wool and embroidered with fancy needlework. They made 5 posts, covered them completely with gold, and set them each on a gold-covered bronze stand. Finally, they attached hooks for the curtain. Exodus 37. Bezalel built a chest of acacia wood 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He covered it inside and out with pure gold and put a gold edging around the top. He made 4 gold rings and fastened one of them to each of the 4 legs of the chest. Then he made 2 poles of acacia wood, covered them with gold, and put them through the rings, so the chest could be carried by the poles. The entire lid of the chest, which was also covered with pure gold, was the place of mercy. On each of the 2 ends of the chest, he made a winged creature of hammered gold. They faced each other, and their wings covered the place of mercy. Bezalel built a table of acacia wood 36 inches long, 18 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He covered it with pure gold and put a gold edging around it with a border 3 inches wide. He made 4 gold rings and attached one to each of the legs near the edging. The poles for carrying the table were placed through these rings and were made of acacia wood covered with gold. Everything that was to be set on the table was made of pure gold: the bowls, plates, jars, and cups for wine offerings. Bezalel made a lampstand of pure gold. The whole lampstand, including its decorative flowers, was made from a single piece of hammered gold, with 3 branches on each of its 2 sides. There were 3 decorative almond blossoms on each branch and 4 on the stem. There was also a blossom where each pair of branches came out from the stem. The lampstand, including its branches and decorative flowers, was made from a single piece of hammered pure gold. The lamp and its equipment, including the tongs and trays, were made of about 75 pounds of pure gold. For burning incense, Bezalel made an altar of acacia wood. It was 18 inches square and 36 inches high, with each of its 4 corners sticking up like the horn of a bull. He covered it with pure gold and put a gold edging around it. Then, below the edging on opposite sides, he attached 2 gold rings through which he put the poles for carrying the altar. These poles were also made of acacia wood and covered with gold. Bezalel mixed the oil for dedication and the sweet-smelling spices for the incense.